All right. Welcome back again on IESF 14 World Esports Championship Bali 2022. This is the last day of Grand Final PUBG Mobile. Still with me, Gereka, on the hardest place on IESF, Fire Stage. So, before we're going to start the game, I would like to say thank you once again to our government for supporting this event. So thank you once again for Kemenparekraf, Kemenpora, KONI, NOC Indonesia, and Wonderful Indonesia. Today is the last day of the Grand Finals PUBG Mobile on IESF 14 World Esports Championship. 5 match. The last 5 match today. Who's gonna get the prize? Who's gonna get the winner chicken dinner, and who's gonna win this event? So, I would like to give you another information about the previous IESF World Esports Championship host from 2009 until 2019. So we have Korea, another Korea, in 2011, Korea again, 2012, another Korea, 2013, Romania, 2014, Azerbaijan, 2015, Korea, 2016, Indonesia, 2017, Korea, 2018, Taiwan, 2019, Korea. And of course, we still have 16 grand finalists. PUBG Mobile, we have Egypt, Brazil, Jordan, Morocco, Vietnam, Saudi Arabia, Korea, Brunei, Darussalam, Pakistan, Turkey, Maldives, Kazakhstan, Iraq, Sri Lanka, Chinese Taipei, and of course, our host country, Indonesia. All right, guys, let us start the first match of today. I would like to take to our beautiful caster. So please welcome once again, Chuchu and Dona Fiska.
Terima kasih banyak Mas Ger, that's in Indonesian. Thank you so much in English, Mas Gary Eka. And welcome to the final day of the 14th World Esports Championship Bali 2022. And in this caster desk with me, Dona Fiska, and also Chu, last day of the grand final. Ooh, finally, we are here after a lot of things has happened yesterday.
Yeah, super excited when it comes to the final day here. Who can actually pull some strings in the last minute? Because we do know some teams, well, including the PMGC Grand Finals, they are not doing so well right now. So definitely they want to prove themselves in the last day.
Exactly.
5 more matches to go and they're done.
Yeah, we're actually like all of us is actually like waiting for the grand finals of the PMGC itself, like really showing us what they got. Not only like the grand finals itself though, but all other finalists from the PMGC as well. But Chichu and also ladies and gentlemen, like usual, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor here who joined in this event. So thank you so much. We have our main sponsor, which is JHL Group. And this event is sponsored by JHL Auto, Nusa Pay, DAS, Grudang Crypto, Taiwan Excellence, Pertamina, Hydro Coco, Antis, Prosa, and also Sofel. We're also having our official telco partner, which is Telkomsel, official smartphone partner, Samsung Galaxy A series, internet service provider partner IndiHome, travel management partner HIN, hotel partner Episode Hotel, and also our beloved venue right here, right now, Marusaka Hotel, Esports broadcaster partner Minaski Global back there, Indonesia Football E-League, and also EZIT, production partner Lemon ID, and we also have our beloved media partner Trans7, Detikcom, Esports ID, Video.com, Dunia Games, Dance TV, Dance Play, Merah Putih, Bola Score, and also Kami Bijak.
And none other than our government support. We have to thank them as well. Kemenpora, Kemenparekraf, and KONI. And we have NOC Indonesia and Wonderful Indonesia. Now back to business we go. Speaking of the games. And do we have to... I mean, like, we have to predict, right? But I don't want to predict.
Too bad we have to predict. Because
yeah.
every time we predict, Chuchu, it's actually like go downfall for the team itself. Remember yesterday that you asked me that which teams that I think is gonna like in the top 3 at least, and I chose Bahrain, and afterwards Bahrain poof, went down.
And it didn't came from me.
Too
Okay, just in
bad.
case that wasn't me, that's hers. So
I'm sorry,
you know,
Bahrain.
we're hands off for predictions, but you know what? Our hands are tied. We have to do it anyway.
Yeah.
I'm like, sorry, teams.
I'm sorry.
And right now, our predictions for first match. But this is not my prediction. I put it towards my manager. So anything you can blame
Really?
it, not me.
Really though? So Kazakhstan for you?
Not me. It's gonna be my manager.
yeah.
I'm being saved here.
Your manager, who can I blame here? Oh, Masger. I asked Masger. He predict for Indonesia actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I put Indonesia flag here as he is. Because like, not only about the prediction though, because like I'm as Indonesia, of course, I'm really like hoping they stepping up their gameplay, especially today, especially the first couple of the games itself in this final day, because like it's gonna boost their spirit a bit.
When it comes to Indonesian team, they definitely have what it takes. It's just they have to have a bit of a push, that's it. Because we saw yesterday, they finally landed themselves a chicken. It was a big chicken as well. It's not
Yeah.
something that's really just a standard, it feels like a bit passive sort of chicken. They got themselves quite a number of eliminations. Now, all they need to do is just having a bit of a self-confidence.
Yeah, actually. But before we jump into another discussion and also another to the first game, we're gonna refresh your mind a little bit about the information regarding this tournament. This is the tournament format. We already held the group stage or the play-ins, which consists of 19 teams. And also, top 11 teams is gonna play in this grand final alongside with Kazakhstan, Morocco, Turkey, and also Brazil that came from the regional qualifier alongside with Team Indonesia. And in this last 5 matches, we're gonna see who's gonna take the top 3 position in this tournament.
Yep. And then finally, we get our grand finals for the top 16. We got 16 this time. But for the point system, and all will be eligible for the point system as well, including the 16 plays. I'm so glad that's happening right now.
Finally.
First place is going to be the chicken dinner as usual. But it's going to be 13 to 16. Ended up with nothing or nil. It's going to be up to 8 to 12 with 1 point. The others is going to be a deduction of 2 points each until the 7th and 8th plays. Now, elimination points still going to be the same O, which are going to be the 1 elimination points for each of the kills or the eliminations executed. So far we've seen some teams are getting aggressive, some are balanced out, some of them are a bit passive.
Yeah, and we're gonna see what kind of game is gonna we watch today. But the prize pool though, only top 3 is gonna take the cut of the total prize pool itself. The third position is gonna take $20,000 US, the second $30,000 US, and also the champion is gonna take the half cut of the total prize pool itself, which is $50,000 US. And talking about $50,000 US, and I'm sure you're gonna take your half, your cut. Not like El Doge. El Doge is actually like gonna take the whole prize cut itself. What do you gonna do with that kind of money, Chuchu? Actually,
I'm trying to buy a house first. I don't have
okay.
a house.
Okay.
I need a house.
Okay, I'm gonna buy a house too while we're watching. See the participating teams. Actually, I believe that all of the viewers here already know Korea, Chinese Taipei, Vietnam, Iraq, Jordan, Maldives, Egypt, Pakistan, as well as Brazil, Turkey, Morocco, Kazakhstan, Saudi Arabia, Sri Lanka, Brunei Darussalam, and also Indonesia as our host country.
Well, so far, I mean, like these teams that haven't played in the play-ins, we do see them having a bit of a late starter, but they are pretty good when it comes to second day. But the other teams in the play-ins, so like the 11 top teams, definitely having a go since the start. But can they maintain when it comes to the third day, where this is where we have our overall rankings, the most crucial point at this stage. Now, 130 points garnered by the side of Kazakhstan, Brunei at second. This is where we start when it comes to the final day of the grand finals. Chinese Taipei at the third. It's actually tied with Saudi Arabia. Now, third and fourth. It's going to be no point different for now, and the fourth place going back with nothing. So they need to get it more for the side of fourth place. But Iraq still can actually chase up to the fourth and even the third place.
Yeah, actually, looking at the total points itself is. With the 5 matches that left for today, all of the players or all of the team is gonna play. Is it still possible to take Kazakhstan's position, Brunei position, even Chinese Taipei position? And talking about like Chinese Taipei and also Saudi Arabia, if this kind of total points happening, at the end of the day, it's gonna be like a total nightmare for the fourth place team. But looking at the other placement though, Indonesia with 63 total points. Actually, it's still doable, but they need to make a big gameplay though in these 5 last games.
I agree. But we're down to the 11th round here. When it comes to the final day, it's going to be 5 more rounds and we are done. Back to us, Irangel, Mirama, Sano, then back to Irangel. And we're going to close things up with Mirama for the day. Now, speaking of Irangel, we do have a couple of teams that seems to be a bit more comfortable in Irangel, especially Brunei when it comes to the first day. But you know what? They've shown us first day was a Mirama all the way, but when it comes to second day, it's going to be a lot of Irangel. But here, when it comes to the final day, I have a feeling that teams that's crazy for eliminations in day 1 and day 2 will get more chickens today because they might be balancing it out with the position rankings. Because you saw the third and fourth place, the only difference between Saudi Arabia and the third place Chinese Taipei is just the chickens and the position rankings.
Yes, actually, yes, because like they got their momentum as well to like really securing the highest total placement point, and they are also like the offensive kind of team as well, so they can manage to take a lot of elimination point later on. And also maybe usually in the last day of the grand final itself, everything can happen, right? Either like this is gonna be like a very passive gameplay, or else the opposite side, a lot of teams is gonna like play it all out. But talking about like play it all out, who do you think like is gonna play it all out today, especially in the first games?
For me, for the top 3, definitely have a lot at stake here. They won't be that reckless if you compare with the other team. But the thing is, like teams like Saudi Arabia, they are one of the teams that's not predictable when it comes to certain sort of plays because they're so aggressive. They don't have a care in the world to actually be a bit more safe or not. But if you compare with the teams right now, I have a feeling that Pakistan especially, they might actually go really aggressive. They have nothing else to lose. All they need to do is having a last push. And we saw how Pakistan actually made it before, how they made it to the grand finals. They're having that one-day last push, just wrap things up really clean and really swift. On the side of Egypt, it might be that possibility as well. But I do notice if the female player, Noura, playing for Egypt, they are more aggressive than ever. But when she's not playing, it feels like they're not at their max potential yet. So I'm waiting for her to actually play here today as well. So from my radar, it's going to be Pakistan and Egypt might be a bit more aggressive. But if you include with one of the team like the PMGC teams, Turkish team coming up from the 5 flags and Morocco coming up from 1 million, they might actually do something for the final day.
Yes, especially like Turkey. Now they're placed in 9th for the overall rankings with 79 total points. It's not a good situation or a good placement though for Turkey itself, because as the grand finals, I do agree with you, as the grand finals of PMGC, they got their something like they have to prove in this tournament. Actually, their pride is actually pride, as alongside with warming up towards the PMGC itself, right? So because like this has got to be the experience, the best experience they got, because actually like all of the opponent here are all of the enemy in this tournament. In this tournament is actually like really hard to beat to.
I agree. I mean, like, some teams are not as famous or under the spotlight or even under our radar to start with, but they have been performing such brilliant performance that nobody can actually know what they have to offer. Now, these are the challenges for the players that don't have any history or even have any review or studies regarding the teams that's never under the radar, including in this case Brunei. So Brunei haven't actually got a lot of Pro League scene. They didn't have their own PMPL, so nobody have a clue about what they can actually do to all the other teams, how their rotations are. So it's not that much data for them to actually counter-attack. But on the side of the teams like the PMGC team, including like Turks teams, and we do have the Moroccan team, even aside of Kazakhstan, they have a lot of data. A lot of the players have their data regarding their rotations, how they play, so it's easier to counter them. Now, the one they should watch out for right now are the teams that never been mentioned before.
Yeah, exactly. Except Brunei. who do you think like the team or the country is giving you so much surprise in terms of their like gameplay or the result for now? For me, is actually Chinese Taipei because I was rooting for them the entire group stage of our play-ins itself, but they didn't really manage to give surprising result as they gave us today or these past like couple of days in the grand final itself. So yeah, Chinese Taipei, especially. Actually, if we are looking back at the qualifier of the Asia itself for the IESF World Esports Championship, I casted the game. Chinese Taipei like wasn't there yet, but in this grand final, they are quite surprising.
No,
For you?
I mean, like we
How
have
about you?
different point of view entirely.
Really?
I mean, she's fawning over Chinese Taipei since day one, so I totally get it.
All
But
the
for
way.
me, the most unexpected teams for this time is going to be Pakistan, honestly speaking, because who would have thought they can suddenly change the things within just a click or within just a snap of finger away.
Yep.
So I have a feeling that if they want to go further, they can actually do that for Pakistan. I think Doggy also have the same sort of concept with me when it comes to the first few days of Pakistan plays.
Yep.
They're just explosive. Nobody can actually expect they can go that far. The same goes for Saudi. I mean, like for Saudi, I mean, like these are the players that are coming
Yeah.
from R8. So I'm not surprised they can perform this much. But the teams that never ended under our radar has been so well, not just coming up Jordan. I think one of the most highlighted is going to be Pakistan. It's just,
Yeah.
I'm not sure where Pakistan is right now because it feels like they've fallen off the chart out of sudden. They don't have any sort of motivation to go forward. It feels like they lost the drive. Why are they not as fiery as they were back in the play-ins?
Yeah, actually, and I feel like it same goes with Team Vietnam as well. Well, even though like they didn't really like explosive in the first days of play-ins, but the last days of play-ins is actually they really like show us what they got and really prove us wrong for the first days of like the play-ins itself. But they come out, but now in the grand final, they didn't seem like having that kind of momentum yet. Especially when they play like late game rotation.
I mean, for right now, for them to have that yet, quote unquote, at the back of the sentence is a bit too late. Now, like it or not, they have to push all cylinders out today and making sure they give what they have to offer right here, right now. Because
Yeah.
if not, they don't have enough time. We're talking about only 5 games to go. Every single elimination point is a dime.
Yeah.
And also, they have to remember, every single time they're being knocked down or being eliminated, there's going to be 1 more point contribution towards the enemy's team, especially the teams at the 4th and the 3rd place.
Yeah.
They cannot afford to even fight each other early game. Imagine if they're fighting against each other in the early match.
Yeah, it's gonna be like very, very interesting, right? But ladies and gentlemen, and also Choo Choo, I think the players are ready to jump into the first game of today, Erangel. So let's go back to the OG map, Erangel, as our first game of today.
So are you guys ready and get your seats buckled up? Because we're starting off on the northern side of the flight path. Coming up from the side of Jogopol up to Lipovka, it's going to be more towards on the north skewed flight path, but I have a feeling what you might have is Sonovska military base circle if it contradicts with the flight path here, because for the past few days, we have quite unusual Erangel circles, especially yesterday, the last few Erangels. It's so hard for us to actually have Sonovska military base. It's harder for us to get on the right side of Sonovska military base.
On the right side, on the right timing as well, because like when they touch it on from their rotation or their pathway is gonna be like a whole another challenge that they are gonna face, because a lot of team is gonna have a defensive or an offensive setup already and so ready to face up the enemy that is coming towards them. And we're gonna see the first circle that is gonna decide everything in this first game, and it is gonna seal parted between the main island and also SMB island. Ooh, it's gonna be like pretty spicy.
Yeah, but I mean, like, this is what we're expecting when it
Yeah.
comes to the flight path just now. Back to its circle, it's definitely going to be a tough spot for the players to decide whether to go on the south or whether to go the main peninsula. Since the circle really in the center of the bridge, we never have bridge circle. What if today is the day, Dana?
What?
Wait!
Too bad. All right.
Wait
Nemesis.
a
This
minute.
is the nemesis.
Wait a minute!
Friend.
What is... Were they friends now?
Friend of me.
Frenemy?
Oh, Kazakhstan
Namshin?
and Vietnam.
Dick, I think you have the wrong friend here, buddy. Yeah, I think you have a wrong right here, buddy. Namshin is not happy about that.
It reminds me the first days of, or the first like the first time when I was playing PUBG. Actually, it kind of happened.
Oops, wrong card.
Yeah, oops.
Oh, nice try. Cheeky tick, by the way. But back to the side of Kazakhstan, they are number one. They are number one right now.
Yeah.
But feels like they're having so much fun here.
Yeah, actually, no pressure at all. I'm feeling them, and I feel like the Vietnam team is like sending them back home now, sending TQ back home, and now even though like he lost quite a big amount of the HP itself, he is still safe and sound back to home, but not with Maldives actually.
Oh, what happened to Toxin? We really need to have a bit of a glimpse on the side of Maldives. Feels like they're having a bit of a unfortunate moment with drowning himself. I'm not sure if he's been shot down or definitely just bleeding out. Somebody got him through, but nobody's actually gone at the point. So it might be just a self-accident going on. Back to the sort of a 1 million of Morocco. So these are one of the teams that we have a lot of expectations to. But you know what? Maybe the pressure getting onto them right now. So maybe they just want to have a last push. Back to Brunei.
Yeah.
So if you guys are in live right now have no clue what's going on, yesterday I read out for Brunei, predicted them to actually get chicken. That's the moment they got themselves 13th place too soon. And thank you, Azim, for the president of Brunei Esports Association, tagging me like, please, Chu, don't predict us. So I will not predict Brunei at all today. If it coming up from my choice, it's going to be my manager's fault, it's not me.
Okay, so everybody got to order us as a shoutcaster to not predict for them, to not rooting for them. All right then. So they're gonna avoid the jinx here. But talking about the $1 million team, Morocco, and also a lot of expectation that is going on that we actually had in the first place. This event or this like tournament is actually like teach me a lot about expectation that we actually like don't have to have like any expectation at all towards the teams now, because like all of the expectation is ruined entirely in the first from the first very days of the grand final itself.
Just the players, Donna, really?
Yeah. What do you mean?
That's too deep, Donna. It's a bit too heavy for us in the morning for
Yeah.
this talk. Expectations and life.
Oh my god.
Wow, what a day. What a topic to start with for our grand finals. But back to our match here. Brazil now. Brazil's first day has been quiet. Second day, explosive.
Yeah.
And what are we expecting when it comes to today? Can they get more as they're pushing themselves quite an okay position when it comes to overall rankings? They are placing at 7th. But if you compare with the first and second day is more to its consistency. They got balanced out when it comes to eliminations and the position. But for some teams like Saudi Arabia, they have explosive number elimination, but it's just so hard for them to land any chicken. They are the only team that actually, if considered the points with the top 3 here, they might actually place at 3rd place as well.
Yeah.
The only team in the top 3 or even top 4 that don't have any chicken.
Yes, actually, we have to remember that Chinese Taipei is the 3rd position right now, got the same total points with Saudi Arabia, and like you mentioned earlier, Chushu, the only like difference between them is actually like about the winner chicken dinner or chicken, and also like the elimination point, I believe.
Yeah, the elimination point's more towards side of Saudi Arabia. But for this format, if they have a tie, the first thing we look over is going to be chicken dinner.
Yeah.
How many amount of chicken dinner? If it's the same, we're going to see the ranking points. Then only we're going to look over the elimination points. Now, for the Saudi side, this is why I mentioned earlier. I have a feeling that Saudi might actually focus on towards chicken. Because if they got themselves chicken, even if they tie, they might match up with Chinese Taipei in the last minute.
Yes, exactly. And I know that they noticed this already, so they're going to run for the chicken dinner and also more elimination point or more stable, consistent placement point now. But talking about this first circle like this, Juju, and also like the drop spot that the teams has actually like, I noticed in this grand final, none of the teams is actually like taking SMB and also Novo Repnoye as their drop spot in the first match or the earlier game. And with this kind of circle, do you think it is wise for some of the teams to really touch down in the SMB island first thing first before waiting for the next circle to determine where they are gonna go?
For me, it's best to wait until the third circle, really, because unless you have your own initial drop spot in the SMB or maybe in this case Nova Repnoyers, but it's like, because the circle can ping pong all the way back up, right? It's going to be a hard shift to the main island or main peninsula back towards the SMB. So it's best to wait it out first, because if you happen to be traveling towards SMB, yeah, you might get the circle if it happens to be you, but it depends on luck. Still going to be 50-50% of chance.
Yeah.
But the problem is, if it's not, you have to go back towards the main island, or it might be choked during your transition towards the bridge.
Yeah.
So it's best to just get the 50-50 moment only once instead of 2 times. Yeah, you're going in, it's already 50-50%. You're risking your entire team and jeopardizing about what's at stake here.
Yeah.
And if you're going back again, that's going to be 50-50. It might add up to 100% of failure if you add things up.
Yeah. It's more effort to do. Actually, yeah, if you touch down to the SMB island area first thing first in this kind of circle, especially like, the part way is actually more bigger. The parting in terms of the circle is actually more bigger towards the main island itself rather than the SMB island itself. So yeah, we're gonna see the second circle where they are gonna toast for now in the last 15 seconds as we witness Maldives movement after the earlier kinda odd experience that they had.
For the side of Iraq, they are. I have a feeling they might actually bridge camping here on the. Oh, there you go. Still have 50-50. Are you kidding me? I have a feeling we might end up on top of maybe Ferry Pier, maybe or even around the outskirts of it. If they want around Primorsk, possibly, or Quarry. But this might be a higher percent of chances that we're having over main peninsula circle.
Yeah.
Feels like it, because if they want our SMB right now, I mean, I will be hard shifting to that part. I have no clue. But around the bridge area on the left side of the map here, we're talking about just on the outskirts of Ferry Pier. It might be one of the choking points for the teams, because we saw how concentrated it was in the center of it. There will be like 2 teams already in the center, including Iraq. So we do know Iraq is aggressive when it comes to early fight, especially.
Yes, exactly. And talking about like the thing that we discussed earlier, Chuchu, I think that Vietnam and also Team Brazil doesn't have the same mindset as we discussed earlier, because they seems like they want to do the rotation towards the SMB island, and I believe they will meet soon, because the previous medium map that we saw, the mini map that has been popped bigger, a little bit bigger, I call it medium map, and then
medium map.
Yeah, medium map, and then I saw that Storm or Team Brazil and also Team Vietnam got their way or their rotation side by side actually.
I mean, like, for them, they can go for the yo-yo sort of rotation. This is what we call, like, going in and out again. At the same time, it just shows high possibility they want to come in very late. So, high chances they might actually get into the safe zone around the 5th or the 6th circle, or even late 4th. But I'm not expecting Brazil and also Vietnam coming in that early, especially Vietnam. We do know they are a bit conservative and taking their own sweet time to get into the circle. But the Brunei's is a different story. And the Pakistan, like we mentioned earlier, might try to get really aggressive. They got nothing else to lose, and they have the firepower. But in the meantime, that Vaz is alone, being cornered by the rest of the Brunei team, Piassau. And also, if I'm not mistaken, with Newbie or Chewy just now, Shako on the outskirts, on the outdoor. But for Ferropane, how can they save their mate here?
Yeah, and I think like Team Pakistan's movement or the backup itself, like, it's quiet on time, and we see that Daku is gonna be like baiting out the players from Team Brunei, or he can like move back up and also open the pathway to bailing out the war between Pakistan and also Brunei Darussalam, because I think this is not a good or unhealthy situation for a team that needs so much point for now.
But I mean, like, Vaz might actually be the bait for
Yeah.
Pakistan, because the rest of the teammates are nowhere to be seen. Look at how Daku plays himself. Might be the support fight coming up from the back or even the flank if they want to. Now, Vaz, all he needs to do, he keeps on moving around to confuses the side of Team Brunei to make sure they won't try to pin him down too early. On the side of Leif, Arthur, we're taken out with a very long distance shot. That's going to be like almost 150 meters away. Leif with M416 taking out on Arthur. And straight away, Egypt having a rough start here. Krona will be hunted down by Leif. He's going to go on the flank side, tossing out a couple of smokes to make sure that nobody coming up from the flanks, the other side of a flank. But the circle happened to pop as well. I didn't mention about Ferropier. It's going to be it. I feel it's going to be there. And definitely the teams on the side of SMB have to migrate. But back to Azasawi and Ragnarok. How will they help Leif to just rack things up here?
Yeah, this is it, the big fight between them, and not only about Egypt and also Jordan, but Pakistan. Daku, as the opening way, he spotted one man from one Chinese Taipei or one esports team, Chinese Taipei team. Now, a lot of the players has been running around Daku himself, but opening up the fire doesn't really make it out the damage quite effectively towards the players from Chinese Taipei.
Now, this is a bit of a problem coming from Daku and the rest of Pakistan team, because they are in the center. They might attract too much attention here. And even they are trying to nitpicking when an M16 is just not so great with that recoil. Your damage output is quite decent, but when it comes to controlling the barrel, it's going to be a bit of a problem. And not just that, Daku do have some utilities to work with, but not much of a first aid. If you've been rushed down, it's going to be a problem for Daku. Hong being spotted out by the side of Daku is giving the pressure towards the Chinese Taipei, but Hong is just going to be baiting around the corner, just going to be lurking around, making sure that Daku keep the pressure on so they give away the position. And the worst part is Pakistan is just so separated among themselves, and the way they position is a bit awkward, it's a bit peculiar, it's a bit odd. If they want, we can feel it's uncomfortable in this situation.
Yeah, exactly. They need to choose whether this is gonna be like Brunei or also Chinese Taipei, because eventually both of the teams or both of the enemy of the team Pakistan already know their position for now. But back to the position of the Saudi Arabia and also Egypt, I think he gonna left their hang and dry, bleeding out of the life himself, and gonna be the elimination for Team Saudi Arabia, while the other teammates of his is gonna take or gonna search for the next part.
Piassau, the DBS. All he needs to do is waiting for somebody to open the door. Piassau saw the corners, already a couple of shots released, and here comes another barrel. Payne tried to just ring around the rosy, and that's going to be Vaz down first. Piassau with a DBS, trying to get another go. Will be a double down indeed with newbies help him. Piassau and the rest of Brunei gonna rush in, they go for the flush. My goodness me, Pakistan really has nothing else to lose, and they lose everything right now. Down to Daku. What a Kobe. Oh, Chewy, wrapping things up with an explosion.
So many costs to pay here for Team Pakistan. Quiet, awkward position, and they have to pay for it. And Team Brunei got the timing so perfectly, I think, to initiate a war towards Team Pakistan now. And back towards the Team Saudi Arabia after they meet Team Egypt. Now Indonesia is going to be their next enemy or going to be their next victim, as we witnessed the hardship that has been happening in the fourth circle now towards very pure area. And it's going to be like a big chaos happening in the northern area of the circle itself.
In northern part, it's actually the furthest away from the circle. Half kilometers, it's going to be 500 meters, 505 to be exact, coming up from the Indonesian team. Indonesian team, they're taking a fight against the side of Saudi Arabia. But we do have the Moroccan team as well. Two big teams that's really aggressive in the left and right corners of Indonesian team. Now they have to build that one out, because if not, they might be sandwiched if they keep the consistent of trying to commit to the fight too long. Sri Lanka, we do have them trying to fight against our Vietnam team. Now, you did mention about Vietnam was on the SMB before.
Yeah.
But they are quite early coming into Fairpier this time.
Yes, exactly. Because like they swimming earlier than the other team and managed to take Sri Lanka down now. And Sri Lanka only left with 3-man standing with 0 elimination point. But the coastal area, the Jordan and also Chinese Taipei, meeting up each other now in the beach area. And they need to really think which spot to take, because it's so open. And Jordan, even though they managed, or Gaga managed to take 1 man down, he is very, very low in HP.
Too many eyes on the side of Egypt just now. First team, one of first few to be eliminated with the hands of not just Jordan, not just Brunei, another team as well. I think Chinese Taipei aiming them for as well. Shako, one of the most important entry fragger coming out from the side of Brunei, spotted a Ragnarok. He popped out a couple of smokes, and Shako going on the high grounds, trying to spot out Ragnarok. That smoke really going to dissipate in a couple of moments, but there's a shack for Ragnarok to hide himself there for a bit. He's going to be safe for now, reset himself. Just going to put up a couple of band-aids and first aid to work with. Back towards Sri Lanka. And we're looking over sort of Brazil. Ooh. This is not a nice spot. We've seen this before, and Brazil just put themselves in an awkward position. We do have, coming up from Kazakhstan, taking the fight against the side of South Korea. Nunes swimming in, going to spot it out in Hong and Chinese Taipei. Now, Chinese Taipei, if they're not careful, they might be executed in the hands of Brazil as well. Oh, Hong. Oh, burn, baby, burn.
Oh my God, this is not only for Brazil in terms of awkward position, but also Chinese Taipei, because Hong, as the terrain is a little bit hard to control around him, and he can be revived, but not with Team Brazil. But in the revived position, initiation, Huo Xuan cooked the grenade, and I think it's going to be like a perfect grenade, but not perfect spot. Only giving up the Team Brazil a little bit of splash damage itself, but Huo Xuan as the player or the frontliner, this is an awkward position for him. But Shard though managed to get or give the backup fire really effectively.
Feels like this is not going as they planned for the side of Chinese Taipei. And Huo Xuan a bit awkward, just being knocked down there, even though they got traded for one player. Sven try actually revive his mate and carry them up. There's really good friendship going on for the side of Brazil. It's quite rare for us to see the players carry each other out, so it's going to be one of those times. Zeno tried to give support fire while they're trying to have a bit of a time and space to reassess the situation for Brazil. But for the side of one team, coming out from Chinese Taipei, I don't think they want to commit here, but here comes Seven, tossing out the net within 50 meters. It might be a Kirby, bleeding out, taking on one on Huo Xuan. Shock can do it. Changfu and Shock now, kind of stuck in the rut. They're being hammed down by Indonesian and Iraq on the other end. Chinese Taipei, they're still committed to this fight.
Yes, this is going to be like do or die situation for Chinese Taipei, because eventually they need to move out from this very peer area and this very exact position. And with that, they didn't really want to be bait out or stop backed by Team Brazil themselves. But Team Brazil, though, moving as a unit, as a 3 swimmer now, hoping for them to really make it out alive now. But Chinese Taipei still waiting for them out there.
Everything looks very fishy on the other end, but okay. Saudi Arabia versus side of Kazakhstan. That's Kitan. Yes, for round 6. Who's backstabbing from behind? Titan coming out from side of Kazakhstan. 6 taking on Kitan. Another double down. Puncher this guy. No stopping him since yesterday. What a nice play coming up the coordination of Kazakhstan. What a nice chemistry. It's just so flawless how they just organized that side of a rush.
Yeah, the MVP from Kazakhstan, Puncher, being still the MVP for them, for his teammates as well. But now, this is an awkward position for Puncher because Solke is spotted him down, and also as well as Prestige. And I think this is going to be like the timing for Team Turkey, as Solke already know his position. It's going to be like a cooked grenade onto or towards Puncher. And here we go. The first toss is going to be like on point onto Puncher, and it is not. But there is some counter. Grenade has been tossed towards Solke, and now the calm before the storm.
Oh, but Chua, it's not that calm anymore here, Donna. I feel like he have to run for his life. So stay on the ground. Amore wraps things up with a jump shot. It's going to be Chua being bailed out, and it's going to be him and the rest of Vietnam saying goodbye and just rushing to the lobby. But wait! What? Wait! Kazakhstan eliminated!
By Eddie!
But how? They fought it and they won just now. That's why we don't predict them. Because it's what happened when you predict them.
We're gonna stop predicting to everything now.
You were with Chinese Taipei, right?
Yeah.
they still got two players.
Yeah, still 2% lah.
So
two
still
players lah.
survive. So it's a good thing. So it's a good thing.
Still okay. But not okay though for Team Vietnam and also Brazil that coming from the SMB island itself. It's been like a hard journey for them, and it's gonna be like a hard journey as well for the teams in the southern and also the southeast area of the circle itself, because the hardship is there. And I'm sorry, Chinese Taipei once again.
Oh, we're both sorry. Yeah? I'm not so sorry. It's going to be my manager saying sorry to you guys.
Okay.
But back to the side of Brunei. Now they're having it to go. And we do witness the side of Morocco and actually got himself in the center of a map and the circle. Lazy Boy with the DBS. Ring around the Rosie Ramoldus. Getting on one with Eddie. Lazy Boy with no DBS. Now swapping over down 4-1-6. Spraying over. Mori in a tough position. He got stuck there. There's no way out. One team decimated by the hands of Morocco.
Oh my God, Mori almost saved himself up, but the enemy saying no. And now the 6th zone, the 6th circle, we're gonna witnessing the battle between 6 teams remaining as Turkey, be really careful because Brunei is here. Brunei is back, baby, I think, because they seem so on fire. 8 elimination point, not even now after they took down the players from Team Jordan, and now we're down with only 5 teams.
Now Saudi won't last that long. I have a bad feeling for them with their one last player. Same goes for Brunei, slowly being taken off one by one by the team across them. It's being knocked down quite a number. Newbie stuck in the right, left, right, and center. Their shots coming up for him. So okay with the Scar L. Tried to just hide around his days here, but Sankey finish off Newbies. In the meantime, there are 3 players for most of the team except for the Moroccans. They got himself the advantage of numbers. Sankey with Mini 14, trying to spot out whoever is actually across them. It's going to be 2 teams, Saudi Arabia and Brunei. Chewy start to move, reposition himself, but Reva taking on Solars. Iraq is still on the run and still hunting down.
Yes, and Fireflags or Team Turkey gotta be really careful because the next grenade is gonna bombard in the Team Turkey now. And the following up grenade is gonna opening or messing up with the defensive with Team Turkey. But Revado spotted, one man went away from the war.
Reva, Golden and Volt. They want to widen up the spread here to gain more information. Piazza coming up from the back line. He's going to be the playmaker and the game changer for the entire team of Iraq. Now Reva and the rest of Iraq have no clue. They're being scouted out on the flank side. Yeah. They're going straight into the Turkish territory. There goes the first nade, greeting them with open arms and open fires. It's going to be coming out from Fireflags of Turkey, taking the fight head on. We do have the Bruneians still stay quietly. Golden cooking up another nade. Volt and the rest of Iraq. They're closing on by the blue. Here comes Pesa from the flank side. Solke still covered by the smoke. The moment the smoke dissipates, everything will be clear. Marshall shot down on Shako. Morocco taking the fight with the Bruneians. Iraq versus Turkey. It's going to be a crossfire here, Donna.
Yes, crossfire, but Morocco though managed to initiate a war. First thing first between them and also Team Brunei, because Senkai already know the position of the Team Brunei itself, but the big fight is not here yet. They are still setting themselves up, but not with Morocco, because they able to take Piazza down, and now Brunei left only with 1 man left.
Less than 300 meters apart, this team are trying to take down on their backside. Chapo just keep the tapping on. Just keep the pressure to the side of Iraq with 1 player left. They can't revive their teammate. and try to reset in the meantime, reassess, and have it another go for Iraq. DBS in Lazy Boy's hand. He's just going rampage, but Lutz finally shutting him down. Marshall with a DB28, taking on our side of Turkey. And plays himself at 4. We're down to 3. It's quick 3v1. While the Brunei is bleeding out. But can he clutch this for the last player of Brunei? Or Marshall tried to save Lazy Boy, or Chopper and Sankey. It's actually having a different spread in time, different angle to work with, but they're not right in the circle.
Oh my God, that was a beautiful split coming from Team Morocco as they managed. They able to take man from Team Iraq as Pia Saudo is eliminated. Brunei only left with Chewy, but Iraq is gonna initiate a war between them, and also Marshall, I think, because Marshall is gonna be like a front laner for a Team Morocco, but Reza is gonna be the sneaky assassin and an information giver towards the other enemy, towards the other teammates of Iraq.
Reva is just right across Marshall. They are just 10 meters apart. In the silhouette, he spotted out Marshall, but Reva didn't have any more healing items. All that separated is just that one Dacia, but the laser given away his position for Marshall. Reva slowly crouching in. Why is that too late, Marshall? Pick up and surprise! Iraq down to Volt. It's gonna be Morocco's gone. It's in the bag, and it's gonna be Chewy. Finish off Iraq. Chewy 2v1. Can he clutch it with an M416? Oh, the tempo! Almost knocked down! My goodness me, he cooked so long! Marshall next! It's gonna be one more with just a red dot scope! Chewy tried to clutch for the entirety of Brunei!
Yes, and now Chewy gotta heal himself up, and it's gotta be like a double pick coming from Morocco if they want to avoid the clutch from Chewy, but Chewy down with a little health. But Marshall know the exact position of Chewy, throwing the Molotov and also some of the other utility as well. And Chewy, can he clutch it? There's a moment because El Chapo is approaching them. Not only El Chapo, but the other teammates from Morocco. Gotta save the winner chicken dinner in this opening match. Congratulations for Morocco! Finally! Yeah!
It's their first ever chicken dinner. They got themselves quite a statue to, put themselves that sort of a responsibility. I'm surprised how late their chicken is today.
Yeah, actually, oh my God, but yeah, big again finally for Team Morocco. They show us and they prove us that they are a 1 million team, actually. But again, top 2 again for Brunei. It's a quite big number in terms of like total points that they got now.
It is so consistent. One of the most consistent team when it comes to the IESF, and it comes to like, it's just so hard to bring them down. I mean, like they know so well when it comes to the best thing about Brunei is if you actually notice when the more critical the situation is, the better they get.
You're right.
Especially their placement. I'm like, how can they be so calm about where to go next, how to peak? While the other teams are always like flustered or kind of panicked. Like in case of Iraq, they're kind of in the center of everything. They don't know. The problem with Iraq is always the same problem as well. When it comes to critical condition, they get a bit panicky. It's a reverse with Brunei.
Yeah, and while we're gonna watch the highlight for now and gonna rewatch all of the good things that happening and the starting point is between Kazakhstan and also Vietnam. But talking about Brunei though, like you mentioned, they really well in terms of like doing a war under the pressure. And what I noticed as well from Brunei is every player is actually able to do something big for the team as well.
Everybody can clutch.
Yeah, everybody can clutch.
Even though we do see a lot of numbers coming up from Shako. He always been the entry fagger, like how we see Iraq coming up from Karlaga, right? But Volt is always the one closing up. In this case, everybody, like you mentioned, everybody have the same expectation. Nobody is like a superstar player. Everybody is like carrying out the same burden. And the best part is every single time they're left with only 2 players, they're still going to survive till the top 3.
Yeah, or the top 2 even, with only 1 man left. But Morocco, though, they also like didn't have a quiet, smooth way into or towards the late game or the end game as well. They need to move like bit by bit and also like securing the compound. And this is gotta be like the spot, the winning spot for them, because the compound itself, like opening up the vision and also opening up the information towards all of the enemy out there perfectly, I think.
And not just that, the DBS did work
Yeah.
wonderful for them. It's just an incredible weapon. That DBS is always a game changer these days. It used to be Micro Uzi once upon a time. It used to be AWM once upon a time.
Long ago.
And now it's gonna be, you know what? Might actually just do the airdrop items, the DBS. It used to be like that once upon a time.
Once upon a time, but 321 Pro use.
Wow.
Finally, we got to see some big throw has been used again in this game, and it shows us kind of like everyone or every team tries really hard to really survive, so they got to get the top 3 position in this tournament.
The truth is, I think mostly more than half possibly be the smoke first, because we saw so many smokes in between. But I'm loving the fact that they are taking a lot of smoke, a lot of throws this time compared with the play-ins.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a game changer when it comes to rotating and surviving for them. But for the elimination-wise, it's not as much as we expected it to be. The 60s will be great, but this time, I mean, like, it was kind of hard for some teams that are being dropped out from the blue zone or even be shot down quite early. So it's just almost impossible to get a lot of players to be shot down, and all the players being shot down.
Yeah, the blue zone and also the hard shift though was really challenging for the players themselves. 10 total headshots is actually like kind of high also in this game. 64 total knocks out, and also Gaga again from Team Jordan managed to take the longest distance elimination with 300-ish meter in terms of distance. But here we go, Team Morocco managed to take 14 elimination points for them. This is the biggest, of course, but Brunei though 11 total elimination points, and only Morocco and also Brunei that got double-digit elimination point.
This is great news for Brunei. Definitely, I have a feeling they might push themselves up when it comes to overall ranking points. They might actually at number 1 right now.
Yeah, because Kazakhstan, right?
Kazakhstan eliminated quite early with only 4 points there. Same goes for Chinese Taipei, who secure only 4 points. Now, this definitely gives a lot of a push, a big impact for Morocco when it comes to overall rankings later. They were in the top 10 before. Now, with this sort of a play, I still feel like they are in the top 8, but not in the top 5 just yet, but might be pushing up there. But the side of Kazakhstan, they cannot afford to too soon anymore. This one time is enough. They cannot have it anymore. But back to the side of our MVP from 1 million team, which is going to be the representative of the side of Moroccan player, Sankai.
Sankai has pocketed 5 total elimination points with on par quite of damage here, 500 shields, only 167, and also of course surviving until the end. And Senkai is actually like the one who take the second level position in the last compound that they got, right? The outer, and then he managed to like get the information towards the Brunei.
He's never indoors.
Yeah, never indoors.
He's always outdoors. Same goes for I think one more player. Not just Senkai, one of his partners doing the same thing as well. But I do notice they have a lot of DBS, by the way.
Yeah.
For the side of Morocco, it's like a lot of DBS plays just now.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a game changer. But when it comes to Miramar, next one is going to be different, right?
Yeah, exactly. Miramar is going to be like our second game of today. But before we jump into the second game of today, of course, we're going to have a little break for you guys. But before that, we're going to toss it back to our amazing host to greet you once again. So Mas Gary Eka, take it away.
All right, congratulations again for Morocco to get the first chicken dinner of the day. And this is the first game. So we still have more games, more exciting things, and more bullets to come. So don't go anywhere. We will have a commercial break after this. But one question, like usually you guys are ready? My fellow Indonesian people, my lovely Indonesian people, buah-buah apa yang gak pernah bener? Buah-buah apa yang gak pernah bener? Salak! Salak! After this, still on IESF 14 World Esports Championship.